everybody, welcome to Mymy channel. Today is gonna be a little bit different from my usual video. Is that I'm gonna talk to you in English just because the topic of today is to share with you my tips of learning good English. So let's join me to see what did I do and how did I learn to be able to communicate in English like I do today. I am not an English teacher and I won't be able to tell you exactly of all of the things in order to learn English. So today I'm going to share with you my top 3 tips of how I did back in the day in order to learn English. So let's talk a little bit more about when I was young and how I started learning English. Was when I was 5 or 6 years old in elementary school, and like you know, like in schools they do teach you like basic English, but I don't think it is something that you can actually adapt to the reality of life. And then so when I got to like about 14 or 15 years old, and my first way of learning English is to listen to music or watch movies or like read books, or basically make myself more attached to read or learn or listen to English in a different way that is different from the class that I was taught by a Vietnamese teacher. So I think for me, so basically I think the reason why that is good is that when you, let's say when you listen to a song and there are a lot of words you don't understand or the way they use it, and then I have to, I don't have Google then I think, but then I sort of like open the dictionary and see what the word mean, and then maybe repeat it or like try to pronounce it, and then therefore I learn from each song that I sing or I listen to or the book that I read of how I remember the words. Because technically, even if you don't speak a language very well, but if you know a lot of words, it can help you to communicate with people easier and better. The second tip that I would share with you of learning English is when I started to go study abroad, and my English wasn't good, very good then, especially when I started to talking to friends or like the teacher, I found it very hard to understand them or even try to explain to them what it is. And maybe I felt a little bit like insecure about how I can communicate and use my English. But just after times and having friends, and they are being patient with how I use the words and how I talk to them, and then eventually I remember how I say, how to start a conversation, how to explain myself, how to debate onto something with my friends. And I think that is the tip here, is that you cannot have good English if you don't practice it. And especially if, let's say, if you can't travel abroad or having international friends by going to another country, is very easy nowadays that we have a lot of forums, or we have a lot of people that coming into Vietnam to study or to work. And I see that a lot of people are arranging, like a private club or just a cafe or dinner or something, just like a community where it's between Vietnamese and foreigners that can meet up and share about culture, share about thoughts, share about experience, where you can actually practice with that person instead of being at home or like doing it with your own friends. Back in the day when I was a student in the UK, and I saw a lot of not my friends, but then a lot of people that are Vietnamese and also study just like me. But after 5 or 6 years, and then they came back to Vietnam, and actually their English wasn't good at all, just because they always gather just with their own group of friends, and they don't go out there, they don't meet with people, they don't do anything, and they just like talk Vietnamese every day. So I think that in that sense, it doesn't matter where you are, as long as you do put effort into meeting new people and learning the language, then you can do it. And the third tip that I would say is to basically practice with yourself. There's a lot of time that maybe like someone that lived with me is saying that, oh, she's always talked to herself. In that sense, it is because I did. And I try to talk to myself in English in front of the mirror, or sometimes that I sing the song or whatever. But in that, what I meant is that you have to practice it within yourself. If you can't really rely that you have to meet somebody to teach you, or someone like as a tutor or a teacher at school. It's more about with you being with yourself. Languages is something that, you know, you learn the language, you learn their culture. It's not just something that you can just pick up and just do it. Like I saw a lot of people talking to foreigners just in a very broken English. You know what I mean? Like, hey, yeah, give me that. Okay. And I mean, we make fun of it. It was funny. But at the end of the day, if you are going to work for a corporate company, or you want to do something more serious and you want to present yourself to them, you can't really like use that way of speaking. Doesn't matter if they are like their mother language is English or different languages. You still need to explain yourself in a proper way. That's why it's important for you to practice it at home and by yourself. And for me, I think it's also that when I work for international company, there are a lot of people that they do have like the same education with me, even if they have like master or even better. But I think that in a way when they use English is that they are not able to present themselves with a different language as good as in Vietnamese. And that is actually counted for a lot of things in your career path, or the way that you can negotiate or debate your ideas, your opinions, or your work. Just for example, if you are talking to a foreign boss or foreign co-workers about one specific thing, and you can't explain it like properly, or you can't debate it, then it's really difficult for you. You either have to give up that idea, or they're gonna talk over you. So the whole point is that if you believe that you want to do it well, then it's important that, let's say, you practice that presentation at home in English, how you say it, how you present it, how you can possibly answer the question that they're gonna ask you. So that would be what I think would be good for you to learn English. So now I'm gonna answer some questions that I got from some of you. My favorite shows to learn English would be Friends. I started watching it when I was like 14 years old. I think that the way they talk to each other were quite easy to understand, and also, you know, it was a very good show. It was funny. So apart from the fact that you actually enjoy the show, you learn the English that they speak in it. Or as a very big fan of Disney, I listen to almost all of the Disney movie songs and sing after them. So I guess that it helped me a lot for learning my English, and also my skill in like I don't know, like being romantic, or like when I speak about like being romance or love, because during all of the movies, Disney movies, is almost everything was talking about that sort of things. In terms of writing, like I said before, practice. Basically, nobody is going to be good at it at the first time, so you have to actually practice yourself every day. Probably write your own dictionary in English. I mean, that's what I do. Before I did, well, sometime in Vietnamese, but then sometime in English, because then I find myself that it's easier to share my thoughts in English sometime. And maybe you can start by that as well, by just write about what you do today. For example, today, the dates, what you did. I went to school, I met with these friends, we did these things, or for Lunar New Year, what we're gonna do, or for the holiday, or for summer. So basically just try to write whatever you can. And from there, maybe you can compare what you write versus the actual, like grammar or words using in Wikipedia or the books, and to see if something you use are not really correct, then you can fix it from there. But most importantly, I think for learning good English or speak English fluently is that you have to be confident. From the first time, I was super insecure about my own English and how I can explain to people. I'm not saying that my English is the best. I'm sure that there are people that are much better than me. But the fact is that you have to feel confident when you speak. You have to actually speak out what you think and how it is, and you can fix from there, or you have people that can help you. Otherwise, if you are too afraid or too shy to talk, it's impossible for you to learn any skill, not just English. So now I would like to introduce to you a very special friend of mine so that he can also tell you about what he thinks about learning English. So with nearly 14 years living in Vietnam, what do you, and then you would have a lot of friends and co-workers that are Vietnamese talking to you. So what do you think about their English?
I think over 14 years, the level of English has definitely increased tremendously. I remember when I first came to Vietnam, trying to hire people, even that just had any kind of decent English was very difficult. Now it's almost all new graduates that we are hiring have next to perfect English.
And apart from the people that are working in professional environment with you, how about the people that are outside? Like, let's say that the people that don't have that sort of level of English.
Sure, but I think that one thing that in general Vietnamese people can be more confident about is pronunciation. It's very unusual that a Vietnamese person will say something that I don't understand. It more has, maybe you don't know the right word or what to say, but pronunciation is generally understandable. So no need to be too worried or to be not confident about speaking. Be confident, speak, and I would say also the more important thing is how you communicate, not that your English is perfect. So there are many people who actually their English is better or very good, but their ability to communicate is not so great. Oftentimes the person whose English is not so perfect, but the way that they use the language that they know, they're much better able to communicate, and usually those are the people that are, they don't worry so much. They're confident and they worry about how to communicate their message, not the exact words that they're using.
So you want to say is that the way to learn English, especially for Vietnamese and the people that you met, is that they should be more confident of speaking to just anybody.
Yeah,
not worry too much about making mistakes, right?
Use it. Speak clearly. Speak loudly. Don't be nervous and shy. And you know how it is. Even if you probably have met people from speaking other languages from other countries. The people who know 20 words, but they're laughing and joking and yelling them out. You actually can talk to them versus somebody who actually knows a lot, but they're too shy to use any of it, right? So.
Okay, got it. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Thank you, everybody. So that is the end of our topic today with my tips of how to speak good English. Hopefully you can learn a lot more from it. And thank you, Brad, for sharing your thoughts. And,
you're welcome.
Let's meet more on the next chapters to come. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and also let us know what you think so that next time we can have more of content to tell you. Thank you. Bye-bye.